Hi, I'm Puspam. I'm currently working at Laronde, where we are working on life-changing medicines based on circular RNA-based therapy. Before that, I was working as a PhD student at UMass Amherst. There, I was working at intercellular tensile forces. So we were making probes for quantification of these forces.
Welcome to the PhD talk show by BioPatrika. I'm Nandita Sharma, host for today's session with Dr. Puspam Keshri, scientist in the Analytical Development Group at Laronde. Welcome, Dr. Puspam.
Thank you for inviting Nandita.
So, Dr. Puspam, you went abroad for PhD after doing masters in India. Could you walk us through your educational journey before joining Laronde as a scientist?
Yeah, so I did my bachelor's from Jadavpur University back in 2013, where I actually was working on chemistry. So it was more of a chemistry role. And then from there, I moved to ISC for integrated PhD program. There I worked on organic chemistry. So my master's was in organic chemistry. So from there, actually, I felt that US would be a great place to do a PhD, and I also heard it from so many other people. So I thought, like, let's try to make the transition from India to US. And for that time, I think I applied to many other universities and finally got into UMass for my PhD. There also, I was working initially in basically chemistry department. And in my PhD, I was working more on bio side. So gradually, I made the shift from chemistry to bio. In my PhD, the main challenge I was working on was actually quantifying intercellular tensile forces. From there onwards, actually, I joined Laronde as a scientist.
Great, great. So can you please shed some light on the skills acquired during your PhD that help you secure this job?
Yes, so that's a great question. I think there are a lot of skills which goes into the picture. And in this case, I think we are talking both about hard skills and soft skills. So obviously, you want to know what you are doing properly, because that is the ultimately guiding factor, for your career transition. If you understand what you are doing, then that helps you. So hard skills like, so I was working in a biochemistry lab. So there are so many biological techniques, right, which you have to know and learn, and especially like the troubleshooting part. When we say that we want to, we know this, we should also know how to troubleshoot, because biology is about so much troubleshooting. So that is important to know one particular technique at its best. And then at the same time, I think soft skills also really matter, because how you are talking to people, how you are communicating your science, that plays a key role in science. So these kind of skills are really important, and I think this will give you a good launch pad to go into the industrial domain, I would say.
Very true, very true. So talking about the soft skills, what was the interview process like at Laronde?
Yes. So in Laronde, actually, the interview process was, I would say, fairly simple. It was first a HR phone call. And once they know the information about you, they kind of look at the job description and kind of think about you, like what you have done. So it's basically a kind of just seeing that whether the candidate is right or not. So once that is done, then there was a one-on-one with my manager, where we talked about my skill sets, and she also asked the questions. And the great part is you can also ask questions, and it's very important to ask questions, because that also leaves the impression that you are someone who asks questions and not a silent person. That's right. Important factor. And after that one-on-one, there was a presentation round where I presented to all my group members my research topic. They asked questions. It was a 1-hour presentation. And after that presentation, then there was one-on-one with all the other team members individually. So it was more of, I think, six or seven total videos or interviews. So that I would call very simple, because I have gone through some other ones where actually it was much more than that. So at the end, I think all boils down to how you have presented your work and how you are showing your excitement through the discussions, because these are very important things for industry when you are also talking in the industry. Like right now I'm in Laronde, and I'm also collaborating with other group members, and people from totally different background. So it's very important to have that communication set up properly.
Right, right. So that was very interesting to know. And can you provide more details about what your week as a scientist at Laronde looks like?
Yeah, so in Laronde, actually, first of all, as a scientist, obviously we are designing experiments, doing experiments, analyzing data. These are something very simple. Like we always think, like as a scientist, you'll do this. But not only that, there are totally different kind of works also. Some days, and they get there can be so many different kind of works, like attending meetings. Sometimes it's 5 or 6 meetings a day. So that is very also overwhelming. So in the meeting, actually, you are communicating the work, because communicating your work is one of the most important factors for industry. When you do research, you are in PhD, actually, what you are doing is just communicating your work to group members. But when you go to the industry level, since there are people from other backgrounds, there are people who are from different groups. So you have to communicate your science properly so they can understand and they can ask the right questions. And that actually helps a lot to guide the project forward. So there's a lot of meeting, I would say, a lot of experiments, planning, and obviously mentorship is a important part too when you are mentoring juniors, and that's important role.
Okay, so now we know that what you do, but how you do it. So what are the skills you think are the most important for a job like yours?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, I think there are skills like hard skills and soft skills. So hard skills, obviously, you have to see this, like basically you have to understand first that what you want to work on after PhD. So that gives you a good idea that this is where I want to reach and where are the skill sets right now. So, and then you start building that skill sets. Suppose you want to be in a chemistry or organic chemistry background, you want to work on that, and then after your PhD, then you will garner the skill sets there, and then just go from there onwards. So in terms of skill set, I would say for my job, there are a lot of biological assays, cell culture, cell-based assays. These are the crucial things. And if you have these skill sets, then you will be a good match for this kind of roles. This is just one part of the equation. The other part is obviously soft skills, how you're communicating, how you're collaborating with the team members. And also, not only communication and collaboration, I think even small skills like how quick learner you are. That also is really important. If you think that you are a quick learner, then industry is obviously for you, because especially in startups, things move really fast. So someday you are working on something, and maybe the next week you will work on something totally different, because there's a different need for that. So in that case, you have to be a quick learner. You have to just just change the directions and then come to a different point. So that is also a very important role which plays, which is I think very important, and everyone who's listening to this video, I think, should think about it, that you have to have that skill set and mindset that, hey, I'm fine. I will be I'll be someone who will learn quickly and always focusing on learning.
Right, right. Very important point. So what one more advice that you would like to give to someone who is considering this field?
So I think the last piece of advice, I would say that it's very important to have a clear mindset. If you have a clear mindset, you can really achieve your goals, and that's what happens to most of the people. But if you think that you don't have that clarity, then bring in that clarity, have some self introspection, and that will help you. Because if you are not in clear mind, then things might go in a different direction. For an example, like when I was doing PhD, I did not know that whether I want to do postdoc or job after PhD. So I had very, I would say, very vivid memories that I did not know like what to do. So in my fourth year, I actually decided to do an internship. I applied to many places, and then I did an internship. So after the internship, actually, it helped me to give the clarity I needed. That okay, now I want to join the industry. and that helped me. So, it is very important to be focused and have a clear mind, because there are so many things, right? In the era of social media, there are so many things where you feel like, oh, I can do this also, I can do that also, I'm good for everything. But actually, you are maybe like thinking that too much. And that sometimes, that lack of focus doesn't help you in your career. So if you feel that you want to do this, try building skill sets for that particular direction, and then that would be helpful rather than focusing on 10 different things, I would say.
Right, right. Very, very important advice that you have shared with us. And talking about
Thanks.
internship, what do you think is the best way to earn a job, or any internship in this kind of industry?
I think for internship, first of all, you have to have that mindset that I want to do internship. Also, I understand that in many labs, actually, it's not something where people do internship. So your PI also plays a crucial role in that, and in some cases, actually, I have seen students who want to do internship and they don't join the labs where PI don't allow for internships. So they are that focused even in the first year of PhD, that hey, this PI doesn't allow for internship. He's a good PI, or he or she is a good PI, but they don't like the internship part, so they don't join. So I think, but if your PI allows it, then the only thing which is very important for earning an internship is showing that excitement I was talking about, and also connecting with people, because industry is a very I would say, like in industry, to get any internship or any roles, it's very important to connect to people. Those connections are really helpful. They might not lead you directly to a internship or a job, but they are very helpful in guiding you through the path, because they have been through that path earlier. So that guiding itself is very important, I think, for the industry.
Right, right. So, talking about guidance, what role does mentorship play in your journey?
So I think for my journey, mentorship played a very crucial role. Beginning from childhood, I think my chemistry teacher, Piyush Kanti Mojumdar, he played a very crucial role mentoring me. And what should I do? Because I think I was 12 or 13 when I started, when he started teaching me. So from that to till day, I have learned so many things from him. Now it is life lessons, not chemistry lessons. So always, it's great to have mentors. And also, I would say that throughout my journey in bachelor's, master's, and PhD, there were so many like seniors who mentored me. I don't want to take a particular name because there are so many people who have helped me in my journey. Plus, I would also like to mention my PI in PhD. So Professor Mingju Yu, he was very helpful and always guided me in the right direction. His guidance was something I miss even now. So that's important. And I think when we look at mentorship, we always feel that it has to be a professional one, but sometimes it doesn't have to be. Mentor is someone who knows you, like, everything, right? Who knows everything about you. So sometimes even friends and family members can be great mentors because they know you totally, like they know you from inside out. So that helps them to give a great feedback. Hey, you should not do this, or you should do this. So my friends, family members, and now my spouse, actually, she helped me a lot also in understanding like what I should be thinking on and what should be the trajectory.
Right. So, looking back at your journey, would you choose the same path or like to change something?
I think in this case, I would say I would choose the same path because who I am right now is because of my experiences, and I have most of the times taken like something very instinctively. So I would just think that I will be the same person and with the same experiences.
Right, right. So, what is that one hobby you still manage to do with this job?
So I think the one thing which I still love to do is watching sports, especially cricket. Virat Kohli fan. So uh, loved the way he played today. So the sport part is very important for me, and watching cricket, and also at the same time spending time with family and friends. Whenever I'm visiting to India, I actually go for a trip with my family members or friends, and just to explore some new places.
Great. It was very great to know you and the important points that you have mentioned. I hope it will help me and everyone that I share this video with. Thank you, Dr. Pushpam, for being our guest.
Thank you, Nandita, for inviting.